Hello, beautiful Black women, and welcome back to another Find Your Light Live. This month, my theme is identity. Who the hell are you? Yes. In week one, I talked about who are you when life is interrupted because my life blew up at the end of February and my son had to have three back surgeries, unplanned back surgeries. In week two, which was last week, I shared 10 things that Black women need to let go of to heal. I shared more than 10 because I'm an overachiever, and that will help you discover who you are. And this is week three, week three, week three. Okay. And me and my Jill Scott t-shirt are here to do a cute, fun video, hopefully. This or that, or would you rather, are popular games that kids play. My son loves these games. And today I want to play a lighthearted version of it for Black women, all right, to help us start answering the question, who am I? Yeah, this video is going to be interactive. There's no specific topic. It is an exercise that we are going to do live, or if you watch on the replay, you can do it too. This is for Black women who feel like they are doing the work, they're healing, they're growing, and they want to participate in a fun, lighthearted exercise that helps you begin answering the question, who am I? Identifying the patterns that make you you and the choices that shape who you are. All right. So, everybody gather around and join me. Go grab a paper or pen. You could do it in your notes app or in the chat for this interactive who am I, this or that exercise, right? We're going to cover things like your values, your energy, your preferences, etc. And you might even be surprised about what you learn tonight. Amen. If you are new here, hey everybody, I'm Rushni, aka Glamazini. I'm a certified life coach. I'm also a content creator. I help Black women heal, amplify their gifts, and create lives they love that wildly love them back. If you are new here, drop a pineapple in the chat and let me know where you are watching from. I am live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. Amen. If you are watching, wherever you are watching, hit the like button, share it on your timeline so that other Black women who might need to know who the hell they are can do the exercise. And if weekly videos about healing and creating a life that you love are your jam, absolutely subscribe. Follow me on youtube.com/Glamazini. Hi, Blue Isis. I feel like I don't like see you anymore. Like every once in a while, you go through my TikTok timeline. I'll be missing folks. Hey, boo boo. I'm so glad I can see you. Hi, Edna. Edna be lurking. Well, Edna is giving me kissy emojis and I will take them. And then I did see Tasha. Hi, Tasha. I saw you guys before you joined. Welcome. Happy Saturday, you guys. Usually I go live on Friday, but last night, Marissa from Marissa Price Heals and I were in the streets doing my artist dates. I've been trying to get back into my artist dates. And we had a great time. If you want to see the posts about it, I posted about it on Instagram. I also posted about it on the YouTube community tab. Okay, get into the free things that happen at your local libraries, museums, etc. Hello, hello. All right. So, housekeeping before we begin. Housekeeping. I am hosting a gentle 14-day spring cleaning challenge inspired by my Finch app. Yeah. Every day we're going to just do like a focus on a small task. If you want to join the challenge, you can do so at bit.ly/spring cleaning challenge or just learn more information. And I'll talk more about it later. I just dropped it in the chat. Also, the June cohort of my Create Your Life Planning Retreat starts on June 5th. Same thing. I'll tell you guys more about it later. But if you want to know more about it now, I'm dropping it in the chat, bit.ly/virtual planning retreat. Amen. Amen. And lastly, I guess I'll share this. I have a free Who Am I identity workbook since this month is all about identity. It is a workbook I put together to help Black women start answering the question, who am I? You can download it by going to glamazini.com and clicking on your gift. It is free 99. Amen. All right. So everybody, tonight is interactive. Okay. We're doing an exercise. This came to me the other day while I was waking up and I was like, this sounds like fun to me. I'm going to do it. So you're going to need a piece of paper. You're going to need your notes app. or you can just drop your answers in the chat. Yes? I would suggest writing it down on your end though, if you really want to use the information that you get from this exercise, because if you drop it in the chat, the only way you're going to be able to reference it is by coming back to YouTube and looking in the chat. Okay. But also, you could do both so that we have some comments going. I'm going to share my answers as well. And of course, remember that you can always come back to the video and do it and reference the choices that I gave you, as well as if you're watching this on the replay, definitely drop a pineapple in the comments and let me know you're watching it on the replay. You can always come back to the video. So this is how this or that works if you don't know. It's super simple, you guys. Super simple. This is going to be lighthearted and fun. This or that is a game where I say this or that. It's in the name of the game. Okay. I'm going to give you a series of 10 choices. I'm going to see if I could get through all of these in 6 different categories. But we're going to move quick. That's to show you how quickly we're moving. Okay. And your job on your end is simple. It's super simple. All you have to do is pick which one feels true to you right now. That's it. That's it. Black women, don't overthink it. Black women, don't pick the one you think you're supposed to pick. Black women, be honest with yourself. Okay. Pick the truth on your end. Nobody is going to see your responses. Amen. The whole point of this exercise is for you to start getting more insight into who you are beyond the roles you play in other people's lives. So for God's sakes, don't lie to yourself. Notice yourself. Be honest with yourself. Observe yourself. Don't lie, sis. Amen. Amen. When we're done with this hopefully fun and lighthearted exercise, you will just have a clearer picture of who you are. That's it. This is not black and white. This is not binary. This is not going down in history. Nobody's going to quiz you on this. This is because when I work with Black women as a coach, and part of my healing journey was realizing that I could not answer the question, who am I, without telling you roles that I played in other people's lives. And sometimes when I talk about identity work, people are like, what are you talking about? This is the type of stuff I'm talking about. Okay. And nothing stuck in stone. You can do this exercise tonight with me. And if your answers change tomorrow, that's life. That's life. Okay. That's identity. That just shows you that identity is ever moving. It's information. It's not a trap. Nobody's coming to get you. You're not in trouble. Okay. Who you are is stable-ish, but also fluid. Yeah. And that's something that you can learn by doing this exercise. So don't overthink it. Don't lie to yourself. Just pick the answer that you prefer. Try not to write both or neither a lot. You can do it, but don't write it for all of them. Okay. If you write both for all 60 of them, you're indecisive and you're overthinking it. Pick something. Pick something. Just which one do you prefer? Okay. And if you get stuck, just pick something. All right. All right. You got it? You got it. If you got it and you're still watching, drop me a pineapple emoji in the chat. Tell me you got it. Tell me you got it. Oop, I think I just closed my comments out before we start. Oh, there we are. Tasha has it. Wonderful. Thanks, Tasha. You wrote pineapple. You better write the word out. You're like, where is the emoji, Rushni? I'm going to just write the word out. Got it. Okay. Got it, you guys. Let's do it. Let's do it. First category. I got 10 stuff. We're going to start light. This is just about knowing who you are, like your energy levels. Category 1, your temperament. Your temperament means your natural bent. Your natural bent. Okay. So if you got your piece of paper out, or you got your notes app, or you're going to drop it in the chat. First one, this or that. Quiet mornings or music first thing. This or that. Quiet mornings or music as soon as you get up. And if not music, you could say like affirmations too. Basically noise as soon as you get up. Oh, I wonder if maybe I can put them on the screen. Let me see. I'm gonna go with noise because when I wake up in the morning, this might not be the best, thing of it, but I'm gonna see if I could do this. Quiet mornings or music first thing. I'm gonna go with noise. You know why? Because I wake up in the morning and I do ooh, y'all are go oh, I do affirmations. I go right into the affirms, okay? I don't know if I'm doing music, but somebody it's quiet mornings. I'm the only one who want I don't know if I want like full out jam out, but I definitely quiet mornings or some music or noise. I think I'm gonna see if I could put them up in little banners every single time, okay? So that was the first one. That was the first one. Okay, let me see what's the most efficient way to do this. Next one, number 2, plan it out or go with the flow. Am I up? Oh, I'm doing it wrong. That's what's happening. Plan it out or go with the flow. Are you a planner or are you just kind of like going with the flow? I used to pride myself on going with the flow, ladies. And personally, for me, myself, Reshni, that got me in so much trouble. I was so like, I was such a like hippie. I don't have any oars in the water. I just go with whatever comes up. Your girl was like, ooh, 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 ooh. She got to learn how to plan. I'm a full out planner now. I had to kind of rein it back. I overcorrected, Tamika. Plan it out. Shoulders said she plans it out. Okay, everybody's planning it out. Okay. Everybody's planning it out. Tasha says she plans it out. Yeah, I used go with the flow got me in trouble. I'm not even gonna lie with y'all. Okay. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to tell you what to do, but I'm gonna just tell you me myself. I in my 20s, go with the flow, busted my head. All right, MJ, you gotta depend on the situation. Exactly. I got that. And it's gonna be nuanced, but write something down that just tends to be more the way you are in general. Okay. So plan it out, go with the flow. Number 3, alone time. Let me see if I could do this more efficiently this time. Boop. Does that do it? Oh, it does. Okay. Oh, no, it didn't do it. There we go. Alone time or people time. Me, myself, and I. That's all I have in the end. That's what Sister Beyonce said. Okay. And there ain't no need to cry because from now on, she's going to be her own best friend. I love being alone. I know people don't think that because I can run my mouth and I'm talkative. I'm very talkative, but I used to think I was an extrovert in my 20s. I'm not. You know how I know I'm not an extrovert, you guys? The way that that pandemic was the best thing that have ever happened to me. The extroverts were on the internet crashing out, losing their minds. Them suckers was bored in the house, and they in the house bored in the house. And Michael said, I don't even like people like that. Okay? People suck. Them suckers are bored in the house. I was not bored in the house. We could have probably been pandemic and all now, and I would just be in here cutting on this video when I want to see y'all. And by at that moment, everybody that told me I was an extrovert could suck it because they were so wrong. I was wonderful. Good. That's what I'm saying, Tamika. People used to be like, "You're an extrovert." Rashni." I'm like, I'm a talkative introvert because the way that pandemic released me from the people. Hey, glory to God. Okay. Michael said I try to be as clear as possible with peace. Oh, well, I'm a peace seeking missile and I found myself. That's a TikTok sound. Okay, I don't have many friends, so I'm by myself, and that's cool. I like me, I'm good for my health, not you. Okay. Anyway, okay, so that's that pandemic was the best thing that ever happened to me. I said, oh, thank you, Jesus. Okay. And nobody ever believes me, but I was like, listen, that pandemic did it to me. Okay. I'm getting better here. Number 4, you guys. I hope you're writing this down. Thanks for joining in the comments. Would you prefer one deep conversation or a whole bunch of light, shallow ones? One conversation about the meaning of life, people's deepest fears, and all such things, or a bunch of conversations about what the person's favorite movie was. Are they going to color their hair? Da, 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 da. I go deep. Me too, Tamika. I I asked Marissa a question last night when we were out eating after the art thing. She went, and I prefaced it. I said, I'm about to ask a wild question. I go straight past all the niceties. Matter of fact, I don't even like small talk, as evidenced by me out here on the internet talking about neuroscience and people's healing and traumas. I love knowing what, cut dress you prefer and what your favorite movie is. I love that too. But when I tell you I go deep quick, I would prefer to have one deep conversation than a whole bunch of light ones because the light ones are going to make me annoyed. Okay. When you start telling me about which pots and pans you bought, and I'm sitting here thinking about, you know, what's your what brings you joy, and I just I'm absolutely that person. Okay, okay, I will keep going. Number 5, would you rather, oh no, I called it this or that. So I'm not going to say would you rather. Well, I guess I could say would you rather because it's kind of the same sentiment. Are you a person that wants to finish one thing or have a lot of things happening at the same time? You going to finish one thing or you like to have a lot of tabs open? The older I get, the less tabs I prefer to be open, but life won't let me be a unitasker. The older I get, the more my executive functioning needs me to focus on one thing at a time, but life just be trying to take me out with too many things. You said a mix of both. I want to be a one tasker. I really do. And sometimes I will sit down and tell myself actively, Rushni, finish this one thing. Like stop starting everything. Start. And now you got 17 things started and you okay. Now here's the thing. If you have ADHD, diagnosed or non, okay, you might not be able to control this. The executive functioning of your brain might not even let you. But and every time I try to go in and get somebody, I like a diagnosis. I go in and be like, "Do I have it?" And they're like, "No." Well, actually, she said I was subclinical. That part, life be life, and exactly. My natural bent is I want to. You said you juggling like it's a circus. My natural bent now is that I want to be able to do one thing at a time and finish it, like Mortal Kombat. It won't let me. Okay. Number 6, you guys. Are you a routine girly or do you like a little variety? Because variety is the spice of life. Okay. Routine or variety? I'm trying to get into variety, but variety gives me anxiety. So I love a good repetition. I was just talking to somebody about whether or not they're new or spicy or not. I keep trying to get somebody to diagnose me as new or spicy. They won't give me that one either. I'm out here trying to collect letters like Thanos, and they just like, "Ma'am, you are a hypochondriac. Please cease and desist." Nobody will tell me. Okay. I love a good routine though. I love a good routine. Oh, well, of course you do, ma'am. You be jumping into lakes. Okay. Even like with food. Y'all be eating the same thing every day? I know that like from nutrient standpoint, that's not the best thing because then you don't get like a good spread of nutrients. But man, when I tell you I can eat the same thing, that's why I don't understand why nobody won't give me the neuro spicy. Yeah, the root and it helps, you're right, Tamika. The routine helps me keep discipline. It does help me keep the promises to myself. And it helps me diminish fatigue of choice, right? Because I just know what's happening next. You said plan variety. Variety with a little structure, a little stretched out. Okay, okay, okay. What about this one, you guys? This one's a quick one. Are you an early bird or are you a night owl? Bird or a night owl? I realize that when I change it and I click it back on, it shows the old one first. I am absolutely a night owl. I want to not be one because you said no at eating the same thing. I can eat the same thing every day. I so simple. I eat the same thing every day. As a person on a plant diet, I can eat the same thing. I get stuck on foods and I just be right. I just be with it. So wait, Blue Isis, so do you like choose a different meal every day? You choosing something different? Oy, oy, oy. Listen, no judgment. I just that sounded so judgy. Let me hydrate. Sorry about that, girl. Mm, I can't do it. And then it be tasting good to me. I'd be like, run that back. Tasha's a night owl. 5 a.m. Oh, Jesus. Mm, girl. If I see 5 a.m., it's because I haven't gone to sleep. And I know that's not good. I'm not saying that that's good. My mom is an early bird. Maybe it's trauma. Maybe it's so the Sholas be up early. My goodness. Yeah, I'm a night owl. I and the thing is, thank you for my pineapple, S. Oliver. The thing is, I like when I wake up early. So I'm not an early wake up hater. I'm not because when I wake up early, it's so nice. But like the way my body is set up, okay, the way that like all of a sudden at 10 p.m. I feel like vacuuming. Oh, why 30? Yeah, girl, you just like my mama. Yes, Joe. She said the 5 a.m. club. That's how my mother is. Whew, Jesus. She be up going to the gym. That's why her back look like that. My mom's in her 70s. She be living in the gym. Girl look good. I don't listen anyway. I wish I had inherited whatever that is. She told me one time there's a voice in her head that tells her to run. I said, Mommy, because she runs like in races and stuff. I said, Mommy, there's a voice in my head that'll tell me to eat. Make the meal plan simple. Child, listen. I love a good repetitive. I'll cook a whole crock pot of food and just dole that stuff right on out. I'm done. I'm not that person. Whew. See, see, we're learning a lot about ourselves. Think first. This is number 8. Think first. I wonder if I hide. Let me see if this will make it come up for. Oh, what did I just do? Oh, okay. Give me a second, you guys. Technology. Which do you do? Your normal bent. Do you think first or do you speak first? Young Rushni spoke first. Current Rushni thinks first. So young Rushni definitely. Boo! And my brain is back there. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think first now. I can absolutely still speak first, though. My temperament is to speak first. The healing version of me is to think first. Because when you don't think first, a lot of foolishness come out your mouth and you show your hand a lot. Okay. And you got to be a little bit more strategic when you get older. Girl, I used to pop off, on, around, over, and under. I used to pop. I had to rein me in. Okay. Rein me in. The fact that I make my money speaking is not lost on me because this mouth of mine. I had a friend recently tell me that she's in awe of the fact that I always have content up. She's like, "You make content like that." Sometimes I don't know what to talk about. I have no idea what that feels like. What do you mean you don't know what to talk about? I'd be not knowing not what to not talk about. Girl, I'd be talking now. I don't know. Thinking first sometimes eliminates the need to speak at all. I have hit that level. MJ, I have actually hit the level where the thoughts come in and I'm like, it's not worth it. You're correct. That's an advanced level of knowing yourself. Okay. Next. I don't know if we're gonna get through all the ones I have listed, but we're gonna go as far as we can. Next. See, it does it again. Do you like calm spaces or do you like spaces that are hopping? When you walk into a restaurant, you like the vibe to be chill or you want there to be a band? playing loud background music, people talking. You prefer to go to the beach and have the ocean sounds behind you, or you want to be in the carnival village with a jump up and a plate and a bunch of people running by half naked. Calm. Yeah, I definitely don't love a lively space. And when I go to a lively space, like I force myself to go to concerts and stuff because I love music, but I don't like the idea of going into all of that. Like, when I'm done with that, I got to have alone time afterwards, you guys. I'm talking about that's how I know I'm an introvert. Because once I have extended myself to go procure the that feeling, it's over for these hoes. I don't want them. Everybody stay away from me immediately. See, calm and curated is another level because creating your calm, you see what I'm saying? You're right. I need to be able to help. And it's almost like, you know what it is, Tamika? It's almost like I need to get my nervous system back to me because to go into those spaces takes effort, which is why I know I'm not an extrovert because I am not recharged by going into lively spaces. I love a jump up. I love music. I love dancing. I love blah, 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 blah. And when I'm dancing, it kind of balances it out because I'm moving my body. So the somatics are there. But if I'm just standing around and there's like people in the corner, somebody selling plates, somebody over there, there's a bouncy house. I'm at somebody's party. You know what I mean? You go to some people's house and you go to the cookout, okay? Like a real cookout. It's kids running. It's somebody on a smoker. It's a game of dominoes. They got a bouncy house. People running in and out. People yelling. Music's in here. Music's outside. Girl, I'm probably out of pocket for like 3 days. I'm having a good time, but I'm just like, I don't want y'all. Okay. And number 10 for temperament and energy. I think I already asked this one. Oh, I did. I did. Okay. So we're going to skip on. We're going to skip this one. I kind of worded it differently, but it's the same thing. Okay. So that was category one. So at this point, you should have a bit more comprehension of your unique energy, how it shows up, and your temperament. Let's move on to the second category, which is your values. Values are what matters to you. Yeah. And this one is not mutually exclusive. So it's not like you have to choose this or that. It's just if you had to choose between these two specific things, which one would you choose? That's kind of how I wrote it. So just for you to have an understanding or like some insight into yourself a bit more. Okay. So let me see if I put it like this. So these two, boop, I have to keep doing that. Would you choose, and this kind of goes with what we just talked about, would you choose peace over excitement or excitement over peace? And why? Tell me why. I'm going with peace every time because I just told you guys that I got a real hair trigger nervous system. Okay. I don't know if um that's just how I was born or if my trauma has made my nervous system real triggery, but I can't do excitement. High positivity. Yes, of course, there will be a replay if you're watching. Let's see, you're on YouTube. Yes, YouTube saves the video as a replay. So when you come back, it will be there. This video will be here. Peace, peace. So because my nervous system can't handle it, it's gonna be peace every time. Like Joe said, it's gonna be curated peace. Okay. This one is interesting. Michonne. Hi, Michonne. I got your email, boo boo. I got her look at it and respond to you. Um, Peace every time. The nervous system has been through it. Okay. I'm talking about through it. I don't know if it's my natural value at this point, Joe, or if it's not. But the way I get overstimulated like that, I can't do it. I think maybe I've just gotten like a threshold, I hit some kind of threshold. And listen, I'm a Caribbean woman, so nobody cares about us being overstimulated. I think I probably hit my overstimulation threshold at like age 16. They just, ah, right? Peace, I can create and curate my type of excitement from a peaceful place. Love that. Now, here's the thing. Of course, we over here healing. So I'm gonna have a bunch of peaceful Black women. Okay. Peace, because it's a bit more difficult for me to access that. Oh, a word, living, loving life, a word. Okay. Same nervous system, been through too much. What about this one, you guys? Would you choose independence or would you choose loyalty if you had to choose? Would you choose to be independent, go with what you know, or would you choose loyalty, as in the thing that makes you more dependent, more conforming, more what's the word? Considering the other person, even if it doesn't align with what you want. And the next one I wrote down is kind of similar. Joe says she's going with this is a different Joe. Loyalty, independence. I was loyalty all day and all night when I was younger. I'm not gonna lie. And now this is me. I'm Miss Independent. All the women independent. Throw your hands up at me. I had to almost overcorrected on that one, if I'm being honest. Okay. I almost overcorrected on loyalty versus independence because all of my, I came from a lot of places that taught Black women that loyalty was the highest form of whatever sacrifice, blah, blah, blah. And I went so far in the direction that I was betraying myself. Like for me, the way I was being loyal to things that were harming me was betraying me. And I was like, hold up. Yeah. Hold up. Okay. So what about this one? This one's really similar. So I'm going to put this one up. Honesty or harmony? Are you being honest or are you choosing a more harmonious? You see how that word tried to take me out? I got it though. You ain't gonna tongue tie me on live video. A more harmonious outcome. I'm going honest. You guys, let me tell y'all something. I am so blunt. I am from, once again, I'm a Caribbean woman, okay? The way that I just cut to the chase. You could just imagine the stress I have living in Missouri, of all places, where people just have that like nice to the point of it feeling like fluffy with all this extra buffering on it. And I'm just like, and people are like, ouch. And I'm like, what you ouching for? The hell wrong with you? So I had to really learn how to be like, oh, we can't, y'all don't talk to each other like that. Okay, so we got a bunch of honesty people here. Yeah, I'm choosing honesty every time, but I am gonna say tempered honesty because my honesty can cut like a machete. I'm quick with it. Okay, I just be quick with it. Yeah. But that's the thing, Joe. So US Caribbean pick honesty because some people that's what I'm saying. I used to be telling people about themselves a little too much. Okay. It was a little too and I was like a little ginsu. And I had to be like, hello. I know I'm saying my honesty was harsh. You're on that's what I'm saying. I've gone to like less harsh honesty. I've learned a lot of what really got me there, you guys? Boundary work got me to less harsh honesty. Learning how to communicate and better communication skills coupled with a lot of boundary work back in the day and learning how to communicate things and regulating my nervous system got me to less harsh honesty. But prior to that, man, I was just and if you're from the Caribbean, that's just how we grow up. Okay. We'll cut you quick and just keep it pushing. And everybody will like congratulate you for that. They'll just they'll just congratulate you. Exactly. Honesty can be kind and quiet. Exactly. That's the healed version. That's the more mature version. Absolutely. Okay, what about this one, you guys? Are you choosing, did I copy it? Growth? Or are you choosing, oh, why do you show? Comfort zone. You stretching or nah? This is another one that I was doing in an unhealed way. I was absolutely always choosing growth, probably because I thought something was wrong with me and I had to keep changing me. Now I choose growth, but from a healed place, right? So I was choosing growth from an unhealed place. I don't even know if you categorize that as growth. I couldn't stay the same because the same was not good enough. Once I realized that I was enough and I was good enough where I was starting from, it changed how I chose the growth. It does not shock me that I'm surrounded by growth women here because we are a growth minded community of women that are healing. So that makes sense. But yeah, I had to really like change how I was approaching growth. I saw what you said up here, Joe, about choosing harmony often made me dishonor my boundaries. Exactly. That was where I was too. And when I started learning that stuff and learning how to communicate better, then the honesty became less violent. Not like physically violent, but like, right? Mashawn, I was going hard in the paint. Do you hear me? If you don't think that you're okay the way you are, growth becomes a maladaptive situation. You can hide under growth, right? See, MJ, I'm gonna need to get you on the video. Growth can be gentle, stretch, not snap. Exactly. And I was stretching myself to the point of almost trying to correct a me I thought was broken. I had to realize that I'm enough exactly where I am. And then I started choosing growth from a more healed place. What about this one, you guys? Are you a private person or are you an open person? I am team tell some, keep some. Okay. You guys know a lot about me and you don't. You when I tell you one of my superpowers is every week somebody says, "Rishni, you're my friend in my head. You're the friend in my head. You're my friend in my head." And I am very much that person intentionally. It is not an act. It is not an act. That's just how I am. The me that y'all are seeing right here, this who you gonna meet. Except I am 6'1", so you're probably gonna be like, "Whoa, there's a lot of you," because on the internet I'm a talking head, so you can't really tell how tall I am. Usually people are shocked by my height. Depends on who you talk to, Tamika. But when I tell you, I will I was just talking to a brand yesterday who wants me to do a event with them, like an online event. And it is about the topic of mental health topics. And one of the reasons this brand really likes talking to me is because I just be telling my business. When it comes to mental health topics, I don't know why I don't have the stigma and shame part. So I'm going to go with openness for me because I just be telling it. I don't have a lot of like holding it to the chest, which is what I was telling you guys earlier about having to learn to not talk first because sometimes when you talk first, yeah, you you tell everything and you show your hand. So that was me. All right. Number 6. If you're choosing, are you choosing the structured choice or are you choosing the flexible and fluid choice? This is tricky because we talked about this earlier. We were talking about like, do you like routine or do you like, variety? I'm choosing the structured choice, but also this one's tricky. But not rigid. Listen, ma'am, you be in here preaching. MJ said, private with room for openness. Access is earned and incremental. Listen, I say that all the time. You don't owe anybody access. You owe people love, not access. Remember that, people. Okay. Structured. Structured. Ooh, good question. Structured with room for flexibility. Yeah, a part of me almost is like, oh, I was clicking on her, structured it with room for flexibility. Part of me is kind of like structured with a little a soft boiled egg. Being a disciplined person, I say structured but open to being flexible. Yeah, same thing. Okay, come on, technology. I'm trying to put Tamika up. There we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. All right. What about sorry, okay, I'm doing stuff here. Give me a second, you guys. Are you choosing the more complex version of a thing with all the widgets, bits and bips and bops on it? Or are you choosing the more simple and easeful version? I'm ease every time, you guys. I'm ease every time I'm in a relationship, right now with a person who chooses the most complicated multi-step top of the line version of everything, and it makes my brain melt out of my ears, okay? I want the easiest version possible. If you guys don't know this, the way that I found Stephanie Perry on the internet, she is one of the co-founders of Exodus Summit, is I went to the internet and I typed in "Black woman easiest way" or "easiest way possible." Because in my mind, I had decided that I was no longer going up the rough side of the mountain. They could have it. I was going up the easiest way. Okay. I was deciding that I was on my yoke easy, burden light. That was back when I was really still in church. And I was like, everybody else could have the rough, complicated side of the mountain. I'm going the easiest way possible. I went and I typed in "Black women, easiest way possible," and Stephanie popped up, and that's the rest is history. Okay. I'm going the easy way every time. Nobody is going to convince me that something's wrong with me choosing the easiest way. I don't care. 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 Just like with the thing I said earlier about the nervous system, I feel like I've put in my dues as a Black woman. I've done the hard way so enough. I've earned the easy way. From now, especially y'all, my 50th birthday, let's look at the timer. 45 days. In 45 days, I'm gonna be 50. I'm not doing anything the hardest way ever again. Give me the ease. Give me the ease. I don't even want to add it later. Okay. I'm just so- I'm like, where is the two? Is there a 7-step process? Is there a 2-step process? Give me the 2-step. I listen, when I tell you, I just whew, once again, might be trauma, might be that nervous system can't handle it no more. Okay, it might be, but that's where we are at this point. That's where we are in our almost 50 life. Okay, like I like to say, breathing on 50's neck. All right. You like security, ladies, or you like risk? Are you a risk averse? Give me the most secure way possible, or do you kind of like to get out there and see? Woo, you willing to jump a bit? You willing to jump a bit? You don't have to stay feet planted on the ground. You know what I'm saying? You like the ha. Now this is gonna sound a little crazy. No, it's not, because it's true. I think that I want to say security about myself. I do. But this is one of those moments where I told you guys don't say what you think you're supposed to say. I definitely think looking at the life I've lived, I probably got a little risk in me. I do. I got a little risk in me. Okay. A little risk in me. Gen X in the house. I got a little risk in me. I'm not going to lie. Planned risk. Blue Isis. I like how you, yeah. Looking at the life that I've lived, coming from the Caribbean, traveling all over the world, quitting jobs, moving from here, like atypical ways of making money. I can't lie and say that I'm risk averse, because the lie detector would determine that that's a lie. Like cutting off my hair, going bald, like going natural before everybody did it, getting on the internet before daggone anybody got it. So I want to say the Taurus in me wants to say that I'm a security person, but the track record is not giving security, which is wild when I think about it. Okay. Which is why. Okay. Okay. I'm going to skip a few of these and we're going to go on to some things that could help you see what your interests are and how you express yourself. Interests are things that draw your attention, things that you are interested in. Yes. And expression, I always say, is the opposite of depression. It's basically how you actually show up in your lived life. You don't just know it, you do it. Okay. So here's a list. Let's see if you could get through all of these a little quicker. And I'm gonna try to put them on the screen. If you had to choose, are you reading something or are you watching something? If you had to choose right now, tonight, you turning on a movie or you reading a book? You perusing a magazine or you're pulling up a comedy show? Positivity is watching. Blue Isis is reading. I was just telling Marissa yesterday that I will read listen to an audiobook, like the book, go to the library, get the physical book, and then let the audiobook read me the physical book. Anybody else do that, or is that just She was like, "What in the world?" I said, "It's like surround sound. It's like a surround sound experience." I like that. So we got a good even spread of readers and watchers. What about, are you right? Are you, if you had to tonight, and I said for fun, or just, would you prefer to spend the rest of tonight writing in your journal? Or are you let's see, writing in your journal or chatting with somebody? Are you a writer? You prefer to be typing something out tonight or talking? Listen, I'm talking every time. Okay. Could you guys tell? I'm talking every time. YouTube has converted you to a watcher. I'm talking every time. Listen, Blue Isis, it's a surround sound experience. So I used to have a lot of books. I got rid of a lot of my physical books and only kept the like core small amount. And I really don't try to own the book. Sometimes I will, but I like to listen to the books. But sometimes when it's getting real good, I still need that tactile experience. I'm Gen X. I like a book. I will go to the library, get the book, sit there, and let the audiobook read me while I turn the pages. Listen, you're not feeling chatty tonight. I don't know what that means. I always feel chatty, which does not make sense from a person who also likes to be by herself. I'm just telling, this is why knowing who you are is so important. Writer, talker. I'm running my mouth every time, you guys. I'm running my mouth every time. Okay, this one. I think you guys know the answer for me for this one. I don't have to tell you guys the answer for this, but maybe you don't. Okay, I'm gonna just put on screen and see which one which one is you. Do I have to tell you guys the answer for this one? I'm throwing it in a circle every single time. Matter of fact, my cousins laugh at me because they send these dance videos and I try to do the dance videos. Knees be damned. You hear me? Gen X knees be damned. Can I always do the dance videos? Absolutely not. But do I attempt to do it and send them videos of me trying on WhatsApp? I don't care if I'm alone. I don't care who I'm with. I'm dancing like the little placards say, like nobody's watching. Dance is my first language, you guys, just so y'all know. I feel like dance is the clearest way I communicate with people. MJ said, I'm gonna watch y'all dance. I'm chilling. I am my mother told me she put me in dance classes when I don't remember life without dance. So my mother told me she put me in dance classes when I was younger because I guess I was just like a very kinetic kid and she wanted to like find some way to corral it. And I'm so happy that she did that. I'm so happy that woman did that. Good on her. That was an epic choice, mommy, because the way that I can't not dance, like it's almost like not dancing makes me itch. Okay. Okay, number 4, things that make interest and expression. Would you prefer to be creating something or would you prefer to be consuming? Are you putting something out into the world or are you taking in what somebody else put out into the world? This one has a little trauma on it for me too. This one has a little trauma on it because I'm definitely a consumer who is intentionally moving myself back to being a creator because I was afraid to keep putting my stuff out into the world. That's why I went to things last night, like the museum thing, to watch 3 Black female artists talk about their art and watch people putting things into the world because for a large amount of time I had stopped. And I was busy just taking in what other people were putting out into the world. We got a 50-50 mix. We got creating. So all of y'all are putting stuff out into the world. And then Tamika said consuming. I mean, yeah, I had a bit of trauma. That's why a lot of my work right now is expression. It's putting it out. It's putting it out because I just had trauma about the things that I used to put out into the world and how they were received. So it's like this is one of the and this is a good thing to know, you guys. This is what I talk about identity is not necessarily stable, it's fluid because I am returning to the me that used to create freely and became more of a consumer, and I want to get back to the creative part, the putting it out into the world. That's why you dropping all these gems in the comment section, MJ, because you out here tickling your brain with haikus. Okay. I will find a way. I'm working on it. Me too. Me too. Okay, here's one. Interest. Are you a nature girly or you prefer the city? You like the nature. Oop, that I keep hitting the wrong. Listen, continue to pray for the saints. Okay. I keep hitting the buttons wrong. If you had to choose right now, you in the bush or you on the 24th floor of a high rise? I'm in the bush every time. I am a tree hugger. I'm not happy until I see a butterfly or a goat walk by. I want a goat. Okay. I want a rooster. I want a lizard. I want a bug. I need bushes and leaves. Okay. Dirt. 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 I need literal touch of grass. Agua. Okay. That I can get to. Oh, that must have been amazing. Agua. When I see these people, like nowadays, there are all these high rise apartments with the glass walls and people like doing busy city stuff. Uh, and people are like, that's aspirational for people. I don't want it. I don't want it. I want to walk out my door and I want a clothesline. I don't have that entirely yet, but I want a hawk to land on my deck, which actually happens right now. Okay. See, I like nature with the occasional desire for not big city. I could go without big city every day, but I do have a occasional desire for what do you call that? Like walkable town. You know what I mean? Bookstore, coffee shop, seamstress, mom and pop restaurant, diner, bike shop. Also, goodbye. I'm going back to my clothesline. You know what I mean? That's my natural bent. I'm washing the dishes. I'm looking outside. There's a clothesline. There's a fence. My neighbors have livestock. For some reason, I don't have it. They have it. You know what I mean? That feels right to me. Or like I see the ocean, a lake, nature. I take walks in my local parks, take pictures and use them for writing prompts. Man, MJ, you sound like a good time. Okay. You sound like my kind of spirit. Absolutely. So everybody here is a nature girly. I love to watch. Listen, this is what I'll consume. I will consume the content created by the city girlies, by the city girls. Okay. The city girlies, show me your high rise, show me your stark white kitchen and angular edges. Show me your great view. And when you show me the great view, all you can see is more buildings. You see what I'm saying? Show me like you come downstairs and there's a bellman and you come outside and it's just cars, just taxis whizzing. I will consume that and then I will close my laptop and go look at the pond with the fountain outside and the hawk and the geese outside, which is a true story. Okay. What about this? Are you more apt to learn or to teach? If you had to choose, if I said tomorrow, I want you to spend the whole day learning something, or I want you to spend the whole day teaching other people something. Which one are you? This one's kind of hard because I like both. If I could spend the whole day teaching dance to people, I'm choosing teach every time. Other than that, I'm choosing learning. Other than that, I'm choosing learning. Yeah, I don't wanna be so far out in the boonies that if I want to go to a bookstore, I can't find it, MJ, you know what I mean? Like, if I want to go to it, it's a drive in. I don't wanna be that far away, but I do want to be away. Okay, we're learning something. We're learning something. You like a little bit of both. I'm teaching dance, learning anything else. Learning, I resist teaching, but naturally to it as I learn on my journey. 50-50. If I could wake up tomorrow morning and teach a dance, that sounds like heaven. I really need to get back to my art stuff. I'm working on it, you guys. That's the thing. I'm working on it. But there was a good solid few years of my life where I was the primary choreographer. Well, that's actually happened in dance ministry at church. I also was in dancer symposium in college, and then I also did choreography and a gajillion dance classes, ballet, modern, jazz, and tap growing up. So there were large chunks of my life where I spent teaching and choreographing, and I miss that. I miss that. Taught or guided for decades. I'm learning in my own terms now. What kind of guide? You know what I want to be, MJ? I want to be a tour guide. I love history. Talk about interest. I love history. I grew up watching PBS. I did not have cable and I'm a nerd. My dad and I bonded over PBS. I love history. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm tall. I'm talkative. I love history facts. And I go on tours all the time. And every time I go, I think, oh my God, I would be such an amazing tour guide. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. Last one for your interest. Do you choose things? Okay. What did I just click? I'm just clicking buttons at this point. Whatever shows up on the screen, continue to pray for the saints. Do you choose things for form or do you choose things for function? Fashion or function? Your clothes, but anything. Fashion or function? I'm going fashion every time. Okay. It got to be cute. I used to go function and I realized that a life full of function was depressing to me. And I started making tiny little changes. And I started like taking a different mouse pad and changing the color of my toaster and making sure that this thing was pretty and that thing was pretty and y'all functioning it up. What are your sandals in reference to? Did I miss the reference, Blue Isis? What are the sandals in reference to? Tamika's function too? Uh-oh. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going full form fashion over comfort. I used to when I was younger, but I am Gen X and I can't do it anymore. But it's still got to be cute. If it's not cute, it makes me depressed. Okay. The keyboard got to be cute. This mic, I own this mic because I saw a girl talking on this mic on a video and I thought, ooh, screenshot her, reverse Google image searched it, found it, and now I own it in two different colors because it's cute. And you guys can't see this, but on the little pop screen, there's a smiley face and it makes me happy. Listen, I just gradually started replacing ugly things with nice looking things. So I am definitely a form person. I'm definitely a form over it. I'm gonna pick the cute thing that functions less over the functional thing that I'm literally having that issue with my headphones right now. I bought some JLab headphones. They are absolutely perfect. I have them in pink and well, I threw away the pink. Minis fit in my ear, comfortable, everything. They didn't work the best. They kept losing charge, right, you guys? Then I have the ugly ones that keep a charge. So now I have cute headphones that won't keep a charge that I threw away. I bought a new pair of those that they now keep a charge, and I prefer those, even though I have ugly ones that work better than those. But I just like how those look, and they make it better. I like it. I shared info about an amazing Black woman creative today at a gathering. That's my type of guidance. Oh, okay, 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 okay. Cute and functional. Yeah, I'm going nice looking every time. Matter of fact, I have had things in my life, you guys. This is why identity is so important. I have had things in my life that I have had for years. And one day I'll just look at it and be like, that's hideous. I'm just making do. I'm gonna save my money and replace that. Like my whole healing journey has been me like aestheticing up my life and being like, and realizing that I have a very playful aesthetic too. Not this is important, not doing what everybody else says you're supposed to do, doing what I actually like has been like the game changer for me. That's why you love to create. Okay, we're an hour in. I'm gonna try to keep going. I'm skipping over a few of these. And the next one I have is, let me see, what about this, you guys? Would you rather, or if you had to choose, I'm in the wrong thing, technology. Give me a second. I'm clicking on the wrong buttons. If you had to choose, are you starting it? That's the wrong thing, Rushni. It keeps, when I change it in here, it's changed, but then when I click it, it still shows the old one and I have to like unclick it and re-click it. Are you initiating it? You prefer to initiate things or you prefer to respond? I feel like this is a tricky one for black high functioning black women because we be doing stuff. We are Luisa and Encanto, so we be initiating everything because we kind of have to. So it's kind of hard to know what our natural bent is. I honestly think my natural bent is I prefer when somebody else has started it, even though I often am the person starting it. Yeah, a mix of both. Blue Isis says respond. Oh yeah. Oh, Tamika, absolutely. Did you hear me just say I had the pink headphones, then I had the brown headphones, the same headphones. Once you show me that I love you, I'm going in on multiple colors. The sneakers I had on yesterday, I think I have them thinking 3 colors. Halara makes a pair of cargo pants. I bought one. It was amazing. Now I got 3. I do the same thing. I do the same. I used to prefer to initiate, but that's overwhelming to me now. Yeah, I think I prefer to initiate because I felt like I didn't have any other choice. You know what I mean? But now, like for example, you know how people talk about like love languages? I never thought my love language was acts of service until I started getting older and overwhelmed. And then I was like, hold up. When somebody just does it for me, you shut your whole face. That's the best thing ever. What about this one? Do you prefer the big picture, the overarching view of the thing, the 5, 6, 17 story view of it? Or do you like to get into the nitty gritty and the details? Positivity says I initiate a lot, but prefer to respond more when I can. So listen, my love language now is somebody else doing it. Oh, hey, I felt that. When somebody's like, I've done it, or you want me to do it? Especially like in a medical space, when I go in and I'm just like, oh yeah, this thing isn't set up, blah, blah, blah. And the pharmacist is like, would you like me to contact the doctor for you so you don't have to? Yes, you do it. Absolutely. Big picture. Blue Isis says details. Benita says big picture. I hmm that part. Get somebody else to do it. Like if I walked into a room and somebody had my meal already set out for me, especially if they know I'm a repetitive eater and they know what I eat, at that point it's a proposal. We go together. It's a like what you trying to get into? what you what are you trying to do to me? Okay. I'm gonna go with I can get into the details, like, I can get real granular. Let me get back on focus. I can get real granular, but also I can get stuck in the details. So I think because I like to go the easiest way now, I'm a lot more, big picture. I'm definitely a lot more big picture now because the big picture stops me from trying to find a research study about it. Because y'all know I love a good research study. I can get in it and be reading about this thing for weeks. That's why I don't understand how nobody will give me a neurospicy diagnosis. When I tell you I'm in here looking up research studies, I'm trying to understand what y'all are missing out on. big picture and ideation. This is hard because sometimes too many details are, well, that's what I'm saying. So I feel like I've yanked myself from being a detail oriented person because for me, being too detail oriented gets me stuck. I was just talking to my friend earlier about things that get me stuck. You know, she was helping me with something, and all she did was mention the same thing I said I was going to do. And I was like, that's the choice. And she was like, but you said you already had it in mind. Yeah, but I was stuck. I was like, when you came with it with the simplified version, it made more sense. Let's go. Okay. So yeah, I'm out of the details. I'm out of the bushes and the details, you guys, because the only way that Rushni can get the easiest way possible is the big picture of this thing. Okay, what about this one? Are you direct? Do you choose the direct delivery or the gentle delivery? I already told you guys, I'm going direct every time. I'm working on gentle. I'm working on it. I feel like I've done a lot better though. Like over the years, I feel like I'm getting much more gentle, but I don't want to get too gentle. I don't want to lose too much of my edge. Okay. I like a little bit of the spicy pineapple. I'm coming in quick with it. Okay. And sometimes I can't beat around the bush. And sometimes I can't even think of the gentle way. So I'll just explain, like, listen, I'm trying to be like gentle here, but my brain can't. So can I just say it how I'm thinking it? Like, I love to be like, listen, I'm about to just say it how I think it. Direct gentleness, that's not an answer. Direct, gentle never got me anyway. That's what I'm saying. Part of me don't even want to lose a little bit of my edge. I like a little bit of the kick, a little kick. I don't have a little problem with it because a lot of the people gently direct. Direct, but I watch how I say things. Benita, I don't know if I just be full of watching how I say it. I'm trying. I mean, I'm gonna try or whatever. Okay. Especially people who like actually know me in real life and choose to be around me. I'll be like, listen, you can go in the store, order spicy off the menu, and then get upset when you start sweating. I'm trying here. I'm like, I'm trying. Okay. this is the most gentle I could get. Like in my mind, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. You can't really buff off all of the island women. You can't do it. When I was in the Virgin Islands, people used to call me shy. When I came up here to the States, all of a sudden I'm something else. How in the world? I got recategorized against my will. Okay. How about this one? Do you make your decisions fast or do you make your decisions slow? I'm moving quicker with the words than I am putting. I think putting it on the screen was slowing me down, but it also is helpful. So I'm going to keep doing it. Do you make your decisions fast or do you make your decisions slow? Because I'm teaching myself to think. Did you see how I just stopped? Good for you, Rushni. Because I'm teaching myself to think first, like we taught. So this is identity that I'm actually curating and shaping. I try to make a slower decision and not get bogged down in the details. That's what I'm saying. But not too slow because I can get a little bogged down in the details and then I get analysis paralysis and then I have too many decision points and I get decision fatigue and it's a mess. So at some point, I just got to rip it off and go and not go too deep in. It's also, I feel for me, I can get into the space of perfectionism too with the slow decisions, trying to get like the best version. Okay. I actually have a few more in the category of strength, but I'm gonna skip down now because I'm getting okay. Let's see if we can pick it up. Fast because I'm more in touch with what is in alignment. That makes sense. That makes sense. And listen, that's actually powerful because you're right. The more you know who you are and you do this kind of work, like I know this is a lighthearted thing, but this actually has a lot of meat in it. The more you know who you are, the quicker you can make decisions. The quicker you know what to say yes to, the quicker you know what to say no to, the quicker you know what's aligned and what's misaligned. So you are very much correct. You are very much correct. Okay. The next group I had was recognizing your emotional patterns. I skipped to some of the other ones and I'm going down here. If you have to process something, are you team feel it fully, process it, take all the time in the world, or do you move on quick? I was about to say something so wild and out of the pocket, and I'm not gonna say it. Mm, look at my face. Don't say it. Rushni, don't say it. Mm. Do y'all see me still trying to not say it? Like if your husband is publicly executed, do you move on quick or do you Rushni, you said it. Or do you take time to feel it? I was about to say what I actually was thinking. The brain couldn't fully get me to not say it, Joe. So I just hinted at it. Do you stop and actually feel what happened to you? I used to move right on. I used to move right on, okay, which was no processing. There wasn't a processing happening. I would just dissociate and keep on pushing, okay? And I have had to learn how to feel my feelings, which is really hard when you were dissociating, okay? I was checking right on out. Checking right on out. Okay. I was checking right on out. All right. This is kind of similar. Are you crying it out? Are you a crier or are you holding it in? I did not used to cry. I shouldn't say that. That's a sweeping generalization and that's a black and white statement. I was not a person that would cry a lot. Let's put it that way. Matter of fact, I had a friend who used to cry at the drop of a dime, and I used to always joke with her about how she was weepy. And then I had my son, and then I became weepy. Okay. I used to also joke with her and like beat my chest and be like, real thugs don't cry, like being silly. And now I'm such a crier. I cry all the time now. I just let it up. Research shows that there's different chemicals coming out of your body in tears based off of what the tears are for. And who am I to clog myself up with chemicals that need to come up out of me? Okay. Besides, I'm too old and I'm too healed. And now I realize that the crying has to happen. So I like to get a good blubbering cry, a good weeping session. You know what I mean? Yeah. I cry a lot more now. I'd just be letting it go. Just letting it go. Like, for example, the morning that I saw my son on February 23rd and I saw the issue on his hip and predicted in my brain that this was not going to turn out very well, I started crying while I was getting him ready. He was like, "Woman, I'm getting him ready to take him to school." And he's like, "What you bawling about?" And I was like, "Oh, I lost it." Called my friend, had a whole meltdown session, predicted this was not going to go really well. She tried to talk me off the ledge and tell me everything was fine and that I was making it up because my son was at school. And I was like, ah. And then by the time I took him to the ER and they told me that everything was not fine and he had to have 3 back surgeries, I wasn't crying anymore because I had already processed it. I wasn't wrong. I was just early. So I definitely cry. What about this one? This is emotional stuff, you guys. How are you handling your emotional world? And I'm sure you guys can guess what my answer is for this one. So I'm going to just put it on the screen. Do you talk things through or do you have to process them alone? I heard a lady on a video the other day say she was a verbal processor, and I was like, and verbal processors annoy nonverbal processors and vice versa. But the more you know about who you are, you can offer that to somebody and be like, are you available to talk it out? Because I absolutely am a talk it outer. I told you I had the weeping session about my son stuff, got him to school, called my friend, weeped and cried in process. She told me I was wrong. I wasn't wrong. I was just early. And then I wasn't wrong, okay? Because the next day I was sleeping on a hospital chair. But I had to process it. I used to process alone. But again, that wasn't actually helping me work through it. I don't think I've ever processed it alone. I think I was processing with others to the point of it being a little like maladaptive, honestly, like not healthy, you know? Definitely talk it through. I check in with some girlfriends monthly and we pray. Talk it through. Love being in a supportive community. Yes. If it's a safe person, I will talk. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Discern when you are a verbal processor, that's what I meant. Thank you, Tamika. That's what I meant about maladaptive. I think I was telling too much to too many people because I the young version of me. When you are a more healed, mature person who understands your identity, who you are, and how you show up in the world, you don't cut off your bent, your emotional processing natural bent if you're a verbal processor, but you learn who to give it to that feels safe. You're correct. So now I'm not going to just start blabbering my mouth to anybody. You know what I mean? This person has not earned them. Plus, I don't know if they're safe. But the people who are safe, absolutely. Thanks for saying that. Thanks for saying that. What about, are you conflict avoidant or do you address stuff? Let's get this on the table. Let's hash it out. The numbering is going to be off, you guys, because I'm skipping around. So if you're watching on the video and you're watching the replay and you just notice I went from 4 to 5, it's because I'm skipping stuff. Um, I'm all about addressing it. I saw a TikTok recently, and the man was like, if I was the elephant in the room, I'd be offended because y'all can see me. Matter of fact, it took a lot of effort for me to get through this small ass door. I'm an elephant. Okay. I am always the person calling out the thing in the middle. Address that shit. Okay. And when I was younger, man, listen, this has been the plight of my life. When I was alive, forget younger. I'm literally the person that's like, you don't see that? So we're gonna just sit here and not talk about the fact that this is happening. So I just be calling stuff out. Just you can see it. We can smell it. It's all right there. Tamika says she addressed it. I used to be avoid conflict and it backfired. Yeah, I'm actually trying to figure this out because I'm watching this guy's channel recently and he talks about complex trauma. And I don't want to watch too much of it because I'm not too big anymore on like fully inundating myself with that information all the time, but it's useful. And I have identified that I probably am a person that came from complex emotional trauma. Got it. Got it. Okay. So one of the things that he talks about is how people like me and people who come from complex trauma will adopt like a fawn response as their preferred stress response. And in some ways, I see myself, and in other ways, I don't, because one of the things about fawning is trying to avoid conflict. And I'm still figuring this out about myself because I definitely don't see myself as a conflict avoidant person. But also, when he's talking about fawning, I'm like, I think I was doing that. So in my mind, I'm like, was I doing conflict avoidant behaviors and I didn't know? Or do I just not fit into that category? Because I am absolutely an address that shit person, like Blue Isis said. I'm literally like the person that's like, so we gonna just stand here and act like blah, 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 blah. Listen, I'm kind of offended. Like, you really, this would we do it? I'm that person. Address it and keep my stress level down. What about, do you consider yourself to be, now I have an itchy eye. Do you consider yourself to be, let me get this in here. I don't know if this was the right word choice, but this is what I went with. Are you a sensitive person or are you impervious? And impervious sounds kind of harsh, but that's the word I could think of. As in sensitive, as in highly affected by many things, or a lot of things don't get to you. So like things get in and affect you, things don't get in and affect you. Okay, eyeball. I think for me, myself, Rashni, I used to be very sensitive, as in things got in and affected me. I think I'm in some part of the journey where I notice the things, but I know how to regulate a lot quicker. So I'm not as sensitive and affected. I don't know what that means. It's not that I'm stopping them before they get in the pervious part. Does that make sense? I think you got to be impervious to be in the medical field. If I'm being honest, I think you got to train that into you, or else you probably lose your whole mind. Sensitive, becoming more impervious after a lifetime. But yeah, I think I'm like able to. I haven't stopped noticing all the things, but I have been able to do something with how they affect me so that it doesn't cause a bunch of harm on the inside. It's like something I've curated in my identity over time. Just like this. This is another one that I absolutely shifted. This one I shifted all over the place. Are you, let's see, I knew I was going to do that, an overthinker, or do you go with your gut? Do you trust your instincts? I had a good go with my gut 20s, and that thing busted me in the face. Okay. And then I stopped trusting myself because I was like, well, damn, I just making bad decisions. I told y'all there were no oars in the water. There was no intentionality. I was like, I'm free floating. I'm a hippie. And then I overcorrected because, you put your hand on a hot stove, you burn up your hand, and now everything looks like a hot stove. Okay. So I think I'm in a season of getting back to trusting my instincts in a more mature way, not just like a magic 8 ball. Who cares? Just woo, YOLO kind of way. That was not, that was not wise. 0 stars on Yelp. Do not recommend. If you are a young person, do not make major life decisions with a magic 8 ball. And yes, I did do that. Um, Depends. I trust my Nora because when I stopped, it jacked me up. Yeah, I swung from one direction all the way over to overthinking it to the point of it like almost crippling my brain. Remember, I talked about getting into the details. And then now I'm more to trusting my gut, kind of with what Joe was saying about the more I know who I am, accept who I am, and let myself exist, the clearer things are, and the more I can make like aligned choices so I can trust my gut. Whereas the me back in the day who was shaking a magic 8 ball in her 20s and just making decisions based off of that, not that is a true story, you guys. Don't do that. Okay. I think you're saying that I feel impact and process, regulate, and leverage the power of sensitivity. So this was back to the sensitivity. Yeah, I think that there's like a nuanced thing in there, but knowing that that's how you show up in the world means that you get to curate more safe spaces for yourself. I can overthink and rein it in. Yeah. It's like I tried gut with no alignment. That was a mess. I tried overthinking out of like panic and not enoughness. That also was a mess. So I was like, okay, neither of these work. I got I gotta find a more healed version. Okay, I'm skipping through. Let's see. I'm skipping down to another. Okay, this was the last category I had. If you have to get her done, do you choose to rest, or do you choose to push through? Absolutely used to be pushed through. Miss push through. I used to be miss pushed through it. Okay. I was ignoring every emotional signal, every physical signal, every need for rest, everything. I was just go, 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 burn myself out and almost drop down doing it. Now I choose rest all the time. I stop all the time. I make it stop every time. I told y'all I'm choosing ease. I don't know if it's age. I know it's intention. I know it's healing. I know it's active choice. I know it's active choice. I could have plans and I'll do half them plans and be like, well, the rest of that's not happening. I had like plans yesterday. I was like, some of that's not happening because it just was too much. And I was like, you overdid it, Rushman. Absolutely not. Okay. All right. I'm skipping around again. So when you see the numbers being all over the place, that is why. What about this one? Do you ask for help or do you figure it out on your own? Blue Isis said, I used to push through. I didn't even think rest was an option until I started working with you. You're welcome. Okay. Tamika says she rested, unhurried, unrushed. This is the thing. When you realize that you're doing everything like you're in trouble, you're cleaning your house like you're in trouble because you probably grew up surveilled and not able to sit down in your own house and you're rushing and everything is you're trying to beat a clock. When you realize you have to like pause and slow yourself all the way down, it changes everything and it reveals a lot about how you show up in the world. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. And you can really identify a whacked out nervous system when you slow down. All right. So I asked you guys, do you ask for help or do you figure it out? Benita says she asked for help. MJ says she asked for help. Lysa says she asked him for help early. That's amazing. Tamika says she asking for assistance more now. Yeah, I absolutely try to figure it out first. Not gonna lie, and then eventually I tap out. I think the natural bent was don't ask for help. Ask for help is a sign of weakness. Once again, might have been learned for trauma. Okay. I remember being a child and being like, why nobody ever explain how to do like people have I remember thinking to myself, people have an expectation that I know how to do something, but I'm a child. You guys didn't teach me. So I stopped asking for help and just figured things out. And I've kind of been teaching myself how to be um, a person who asks for assistance, like you said up here, Timika, more. I literally just tapped out on something the other day, wrote to my friends and was like, yeah, she's overwhelmed. Help. SOS. Okay. SOS. I just threw in. I was like, ah, okay. Rest, Joe said, but not unapologetically. I'm getting there. Yeah. I, yeah, I don't think I'd just be out here resting at this point. It's my favorite thing. Also, I need the rest. Like I can't really function without it. So there's that. Okay. There's that. What about, let's see. I'm skipping around to see. Okay. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's do a couple, three more. And then I'm gonna. All right. What about this one, you guys? Are you generally, this is a general thing. You gonna speak up or you gonna stay quiet? I'm gonna speak up every time. Now it's a lot more healed. Back in the day, I would speak up from the pop off place. Not gonna lie. It was gonna be the wild and out pop off place. Then once again, I went to the overcorrection. This is why I said identity is not a rigid thing. It's fluid. Because I overcorrected to silencing myself. You know that Oprah meme when it's like, are you silent or are you silenced? Okay. I I silenced myself. Amen. And now I'm gonna pause, like we said earlier, think first. But if I think to myself, oh, yeah, we're absolutely not about to let you get away with that, I will say something. You know how Maxine Waters talks about speaking truth to power? Something about me, I got to say my piece, especially if it's a person who has harmed me by slanging power currently and in the past. I can't. When I tell you I can't not, now I don't know if that's the most healed version of me, but when I leave the conversation, I will not betray myself. You gonna hear what I thought. I don't care what you doing. I don't care what power dynamic you think is happening. You're gonna think you done, and I'm gonna be like, but also like I'm speaking up. I'm speaking up without the I don't pop off no more. And, like, I don't remember who said it earlier. It might have been MJ said it earlier. Sometimes the thinking first keeps you from saying something, and I parse, I think about it for a second, and the me that I wanna be, because remember identity is the answer to the question, "Who am I?" The who I am is the woman who's going to not let you leave the conversation thinking that your wackadoodle power dynamics landed over here. Absolutely not. You can't talk to me that way. A little both. Everything doesn't deserve my energy. Yeah, I think I went like way far on the other end of that and like got really quiet because I was like afraid to speak up. And also I thought I was okay. Let me give you this example. A few years back, probably like mid pandemic, I saw a family member on the internet having an argument in a Facebook comment section. And I messaged them separately and was like, stop, like you in here going back and forth with this rando. Like everything doesn't deserve your energy. And this person who's actually older than me was like, leave me alone. I have time today. I want to go back and forth with the person. And I always thought that that was such a ridiculous choice back then. Now, breathing on 50's neck, sometimes I have time. I get it. Sometimes you gotta tell somebody what you actually think. So that's what right? Benita said, "I generally stay quiet, assess, speak up, really actively listening." Yeah, I don't know if I'm fully on full out active listening, but sometimes now I'm not gonna really go back and forth with somebody in the comment section, but I'm good for making content off of somebody. Sometimes I understand a little bit more what that person said to me the other day. Speak up when it matters and makes a difference. Understanding and speaking up can include different ways of messaging. Yeah, and for me, the speaking up often is because I spent so many years not speaking up. It's a message to Rushni that I'm not going to betray myself. So a lot of times the speaking up is so that when I leave the conversation, I said what needed to be said and I'm not walking off thinking, you didn't say what you actually thought. You did, girl, that part of me is not happening anymore. So you're right. And the like when it matters is like for me. That's my own, that's how I know how I am. And I will literally be in a conversation and the person will be wheeling their power out of place. You know what I mean? Some white person, some whatever. And I'll be thinking, oh, they think they got me. Okay. When they finish with that foolishness, let me see what I have to say. I'll be like, ain't no way I'm walking away from this conversation without saying what I did in my brain. I'm gonna say it. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. This was the last one. I have more, but we didn't get to all of them, but that's fine. I knew the pacing that I had was a little over. It was a bit much. Okay. This is the last one we're gonna do. How you grow. You choosing others, you choosing yourself. This one's tricky because many Black women are raised in situations, systems, and environment that teach us that others over self is always the choice and that anything else is selfish and wrong. Unfortunately, especially because of the wiring of the Black woman specifically, we will take that to an extreme where we will not even be a part of our own life. And so our answer to a question, who am I, will often be a role we play in the lives of other people, which means we're always choosing other people. That's why when I work with Black women, often when I say, who are you? They can't tell me anything besides the role they play in another person's life. And that's great. I'm not saying anything's wrong with having a role that you play in other people's lives, but I'm saying for me, myself, Rushni, I had to correct over to me first. I had to put my mask on first in my life to heal from, repair from the training all these years to put others above myself. I'm never not going to put others in high esteem, but the life I lived of putting others first to the point that I wasn't even in my life. Like Blue Isis said, hey, I realized that I hated my life because you probably wasn't in it. You were just a tool in other people's toolboxes. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think Black women have a really unique way of looking at this. We have to choose ourselves because in the systems we're trained in, other people are taught to choose themselves and to use us. And we are taught to choose them. So everybody is like, whatever you like, whatever you like. Oh, yes, master, whatever you like. Of our specific training, we're never going to go all the way to just being, well, some people are probably fully selfish. I'm not saying that there aren't Black women out there that are like diagnosable or something, but I'm just saying you got to choose yourself. You got to center yourself in your own life and make decisions from a place where you exist in your life. Choosing myself from there, and I'm liberated to choose others as appropriate. Exactly. I always say that the roles that you play in other people's lives are great, they're noble, and those are like reflective identity. You're someone's mom, you're someone's cousin, you're someone's this, you're someone's that, you're someone's deacon, you're someone's boss, or whatever. Those are wonderful, but you should be able to choose that, especially men. They were raised to put themselves first. Girl, everybody higher on the hierarchy than us in the intersectional categories was raised to put them above and to seek out one of us to fill in the gaps that they don't need. They need somebody to play our role. So we are trained to be in the role below the man, below the white person, below, right? And they are trained to look for one of us to fill the role. If you want to break, you want to liberate yourself out of the systemic training, you got to choose you. And a lot of us get to our big age and this is like the first time we're putting ourselves in our lives. And I'm saying that from a place of knowing. MJ said, I decided long ago that I wanted to be in the star of the show of my own life, not an extra. Correct. What does Melissa Frederick say? Main character energy. All right, you guys, we went over, but hopefully this was a fun and interesting exercise about just some ways of identifying who you are. And now that you see what it's like, it'll be something you can't unsee. While you're walking through your day, you'll be like this or that. Which one of these is actually the thing that I like? And I want to encourage you to pay attention, go back, look at your answers. Look and see if you see patterns. Look and see if you were surprised by anything. What about where you hesitated? Where you paused and you couldn't figure out the answer, there's an answer in your pause. Because maybe there's a duality. Maybe it's neither of those things, right? And remember, it's not black and white. None of this is set in stone. You are ever changing. However, having a better understanding of who you are and this exercise, I hope, gave you a better understanding of how to align your yeses and your nos, your choices, your decisions, the people, places, and things that you allow in your life. Yeah. And I hope it was fun for you in the process. If you want to work with me as your coach, you can always do so by going to glamazini.com/coaching. Okay. I dropped it in the chat. It's also the first link on the screen. A few things. I am doing a 14-day gentle spring cleaning. Did I make a banner for it? I did. A 14-day gentle spring cleaning challenge. Why? Because my Finch app popped up with a little spring cleaning thing. And I was like, oh my God, what a great idea. And I started doing it and then I stopped and I was like, wait, I want to share this with the ladies. Okay. So basically on April 1st, every day, we're going to just focus together on one simple task to clean, clear, and reset our physical space, our house. Okay. And at the end of the 14 days, hopefully your space will feel lighter, it'll feel cleaner, and you'll feel more ready to go into spring. You can find out more about it at bit.ly/spring cleaning 2026. $47. And ladies who did the plan, well, I'll tell you that in a second. Okay. So that's the first thing. The second thing is my Create Your Life virtual planning retreat cohort for June starts on June 5th. All right. bit.ly/virtual planning retreat. What is the planning retreat, Rashni? So basically every year at the end of the year, I do a virtual planning retreat and I decided to offer it in the middle of the year as well. It's a week of self-paced videos. It's modules, workbooks, etc. that start from doing the identity work that we did today, the type of stuff we did today. Answering the question, who am I? And then from that answer, you build a plan. I guide you through it with a workbook, etc., and prompts and videos to build a plan to create your next year. So the June cohort gets 9 monthly accountability calls after the first week of the thing. And you have a community and a discussion section for you. And we will start on June 5th. bit.ly/virtual planning retreat is how you find out more. The ladies who did the December planning retreat, we are on our 4th co-working session, oh my God, which will be April the 12th, Sunday, April the 12th. I'm going to try the 2-hour model with a break in the middle. So you can come for both hours and get some work done, or you can just come for one, the first hour or the second hour. More information on that is coming your way, as well as our 4th accountability call from the December planning retreat is on Sunday, April the 19th. And ladies from December, there is a coupon code for $10 off the spring cleaning challenge in your discussion board. So if you want to do the spring cleaning challenge, I dropped a coupon for you guys in there. Okay. Wonderful. All right. I think I did it. Be well, you guys, and be encouraged. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I thought it would be fun. I know. I woke up thinking about this. All right, you guys. Have a great weekend. Here's a pineapple. Bye, y'all. Bye.